Hello everybody, my name is Angie Vasquez and today I'm going to answer this question. Does God exist? Well, I'm going to answer it through two parts, the science part and the ethical part. But before to start, I want to show you these verse that is in Psalms 19:1 that says, "The heavens declare the glory of God, and the skies proclaim the work of His hands." It is in New International Version. We are looking at first the theory of Big Bang that was supported and used by agnostics or evolutionists that use this theory as an explanation of how was the universe created. They say that there was a beginning, that there was an initial moment when everything were excised for first time, even the time and even the space. This theory was proposed by George Gaimon in 20th century, but something curious here is that the Bible has said the same many years before. The Bible said that in the beginning, the Bible starts saying in the beginning in Genesis 1:1, but why the people don't believe in that? Well, the people don't believe in this, especially because Aristotle had said that the universe was eternal. So that is something that we already know that isn't true. Now I'm going to explain you in a fast view the stage of the Big Bang. The stage of the Big Bang started here at the first stage, say that it was more or less 16 billion years ago when everything was empty. A nitrogen cloud exploded, and that hydrogen turned into water, ammonia, hydrogen, and methane, and other elements chemistry. In our second stage, we see that these elements turn out into molecules, organic molecules like sugar, amino acids, and nucleases that is essential for life. In our third stage, we see that it's supposed an union between the organic molecules turn into polymers. So the polymers more important was the DNA, the proteins, and their structure. These polymers was formed in long chains. And under of the final stage, we see that occur a chain transformation between the polymers and the organic molecules into complex living cells. And in this, we could see the human beings. What happened with this theory and with this part is could be summarized by the Dr. David Green, that is a biochemist, and he wrote in his book Molecular Insights into the Living Process. He says, "The macromolecule to cell transition is a jump from fantastic dimensions, which lies beyond the range of testable hypotheses. In this area, all is conjecture. The Bible fasts do not provide a basis for postulating that cells arose on this planet. Additionally, several life simulation experiments have been done, as explained by the theory of Big Bang, but no one of them has given life as a result." Other important point that we could see is the existing similarity between the theory of Big Bang and the theory of spontaneous generation, which says that life arises from non-living matter. This theory has collapsed by Louis Pasteur, a scientist, in 1868 because he discovered that the bacteria or the microorganisms can only come from living bacteria. So this broke with the theory of Big Bang and with the theory of spontaneous generation. But, well, where is the explanation rational that the people give and the scientists give to this beginning of the world? Well, you can find it in Genesis 1 and 2, where it explains step by step that the creation, how was the creation of the world and of the human being by God. And I suppare this with two phrases by two men that was so famous and interesting. The first phrase is from Fritz Hoyle, and a date curious of Fritz Hoyle is that Fritz Hoyle was the man who gave the name to the theory of Big Bang, like Big Bang. He was who called like that. Fritz Hoyle was an English astronomer, and he says the next. I quote, "Once we see, however, that the probability of life originating at random is so utterly minuscule as to make it absurd, it is therefore almost inevitable that our own measure of intelligence must reflect higher intelligence, even to the limit of God. Choose a theory, it is so obvious that one wonders why it is not widely accepted as being self-evident." He wrote that in his book Evolution from Space in 1981. The second phrase that I have is from John Lennox, that is a British mathematician, philosopher of science, and Christian apologist. He said in a video when he was answering question in a university at Barcelona, he says, "The Big Bang is a label on a mystery, is not an explanation. It's just saying that there was a beginning." He said that in 2019. Well, the second part of the presentation is the ethical part. And in the ethical part, we see here that we are going to look at the basis of the good and bad. And we are going to start from this premise. If God doesn't exist, the objective moral values shouldn't exist. And for example, we could be like the animals. The animals, they don't have moral values, and if a lion killed or eats a mouse, they don't have problem. It's okay because they don't have moral values. So, but for us, if we don't have any objective reference points, we can see sorry here what is up, what is down, or what is right, or what is bad. We cannot say what is really in that way. If that don't make sense, I'm going to explain in a better way. I'm going to give an example. To have an objective reference points is like if you are lost but you have a compass, and then it's like to have a compass. When you are lost and you need to know where is the north or where is the south, you could look at your compass and you will know where really is the north or the south. But if, for example, you are lost with a friend and you don't have a compass, and you maybe say, hey, the north is over there, and you say, and your friend say, no, the north is over there, you wouldn't know where really is the north or where really is the south. It will be only your two perspectives and your two viewpoints, that which one is no more valid than the other. To this we could call the subjective perspective or the subjective reference points. So now finish my example and returning to my main explanation. Our objective reference points or standard of good or bad is God, because how we see here, God, is good. And the God's nature is love, truth, mercy, passion, grace, holiness, goodness, peace, justice, and love, how I said. And also we could find this in Galatians 5 from 19 to 23. There we could find the acts of the flesh and the fruits of the spirit. This marks like a basis or like a conception in human beings of about what is good and about what is the bad. So, additionally, here we have a moral experience and a sense experience. The moral experience is what we see here, And the moral experience said us which moral values are objective or what is not. An example is when we say, oh, that is an injustice, or that is wrong, or that is not fair. So we could see that in this moral experience, we are accepting more bigger values or more bigger moral values and duties. So happen the same with the sense experience. The sense experience clarifies us like the physical world is that objective is. So when we fall or when we hear something, we see that that is objective and that that is real. So happens the same with the moral world. Therefore, it is a reality that as the objective moral values and duties exist. Hence, that point us directly to an existence of God. And for my conclusion here, I think that it is so important that the people learn and discover what I said before, because that don't teach us the other part of the history. I say that. They don't teach us in the school or in university, and for me it's very important to know. Finally, I want to end with two words that for me are so important because I have seen that in each moment and second of my life, and I have seen His love in me forever, in my family, and in me, in my moments, or in my things. So I want to end with two verbs. The first verb is you are worthy, O Lord and God, to receive glory and honor and power. For you create all things, and by you and by your will they were created and have their being. These verse we could find in Revelation 4:11. The second verse that I want to show you also is so important for me because, how I said before, I have seen the love of God in me and in my family. So I want to share this with you. And says, but God demonstrated His own love for us in this: while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. That is in Romans 5:8. So, ending, I want to say to you that God loves you and that He wants a relationship with you. Thank you.